In the final mission of Episode 6 of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, you finally get to fight Vader. Unfortunately, his battle is character locked to Luke, even if free play mode is chosen. This also goes for his other two battles Luke has with his father, spoilers, sorry, in episodes 5 and 6. This means no other character is allowed to fight him in the game, until today. There is a hack where you can spawn Vader into a free roaming city like Coruscant and choose any character to battle him with, and there are some really interesting interactions depending on what characters you use. We're going to show you how to replicate this hack on PC, Xbox and PS5 and show off how Vader changes his behavior depending on what character you're playing. All of this and more today on EcksToo. So, first up, how do you replicate this hack? Well, it's pretty easy. The one method I had 100% accuracy with is as follows. Travel to Coruscant and then head over to the taxi. I believe you can travel to any destination for this, but I choose Coruscant Senate building for the best results. After that, open up your hologram menu and select the final mission of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. This has to be in story mode. It won't work in free play. Skip the cutscene as soon as it happens, and as Luke and Vader are dueling, immediately pause and quit the level. As soon as the game has finished loading you out of the mission, immediately pause again before gameplay begins and select Quit to menu. After that, load your save back up and Vader will begin to turn hostile to you. And from there, you're done. You can choose any character you like to fight him. I believe this is possible in any location and not just Coruscant, but you will need to spawn from the taxi location and not from your chosen starfighter. This is so you can skip the cutscene that plays when you arrive at a planet, which actually prevents this from working. I just want to know, if you love these style of videos and want to see more LEGO Star Wars hacks and bugs, be sure to subscribe, because I have another hack way wackier than this one, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. So, some of the characters I tried out were actually the Sovereign Protectors. I wanted to try these guys specifically because of their batons, as I was interested if it would trigger the lightsaber duel, as they're almost used identically. Unfortunately not. It appears that the Jedi and Dark Side classes only cause Vader to purposely change the way he fights. That includes those animated sequences. You can also see this was totally not intended in the game, because the skybox cuts out for a second as the camera moves into its scripted cutscene position. Other characters I chose were Vader himself. I thought I would try to add classic Vader into the mix to see if he would turn neutral since I'm the same class as him, but that didn't seem to work either. But it did trigger the lightsaber cutscene though. That's when I realized it wasn't just Jedi characters that would cause him to behave differently. I moved on to Grievous because I was adamant I could get the duel to happen on other characters that held lightsabers, but weren't a Jedi or from the dark side. But despite this, it wouldn't trigger. So sorry about that, Grievous bud, you ain't in the cool club it seems. If there are any other characters that have lightsabers but aren't classed as Jedi or the dark side, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I can try them out in a follow-up video. Yoda versus Vader behaved the way I expected it to, so then I thought I'd go into silly mode and try out Claude, and honestly, I was surprised. His melee air attack prevented Vader from actually retaliating in any way. So then it hit me, and I realized this slug wasn't just the most liked character of the entire sequel trilogy, but also the most powerful. So I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. Jesus. And finally, I moved on to the Gonk droid, which only made sense because I was curious to see who was stronger. And of course, my battery boy was evidently better with the Force. Oh, and don't worry about defeating him, he respawns right back and is still hostile. So fight with your heart's content. So, that was fun, but why does this happen? What causes this hack or bug or whatever you want to call it happen in the first place? And why specifically the last mission of Episode 6? The reason for this is that Vader behaves differently than most bosses in that mission, in that he is fought as an enemy and then becomes a controllable ally when fighting off the Sovereign Guards during the fight with Palpatine. He's your second AI player the entire time, but cannot be activated until the game allows you to. And this is actually proven because if you're playing in co-op mode, player 2 has full control of Vader during the first fight. Because of this, if you leave the mission during story mode before it begins, you're essentially taking that hostile Vader version with you back to free roam. that causes him to immediately turn hostile against you. Cool, right? But does this mean we can do this with other bosses? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it, but that doesn't mean we haven't given up. A lot of bosses in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga behave differently from one another. So, if we can figure out when to abandon a level at the right time for other boss missions, then we could theoretically getting this work for Maul or even Knights of Ren, for example, as some of these bosses are character locked despite using free play, just like Vader. But that will be for another video. My question is to you guys, what characters should I try against Vader? Got any good suggestions that might have some different results? Let me know in the comments down below. I read all of them and I'll get back to some of you as well. But besides that, guys, I've been Charlie, you've been watching EcksToo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.
Yeah.